have a lot to cover here, so let's start right away. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake. The Game Awards 2023 kicked off with the announcement of a new game, and it was one that was leaked not long before the show. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which first launched in 2015, is getting a remake as announced by 505 Games to start off the event. The original game, which was developed and released by Starbreeze Studios in 2015, was the first game to be directed by Josef Fares, who later went on to direct A Way Out and It Takes Two with his indie team Hazelight Studios. It told the story of two brothers who set out from their village on a perilous journey to find a cure for their dying father. The announcement trailer for the remake, which is being developed by Avant Garden, showcases updated visuals and familiar puzzle and platforming mechanics. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake will launch for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on February 28, 2024. God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. After rumors of DLC or a standalone expansion to God of War Ragnarok, Sony Santa Monica finally revealed Valhalla at the Game Awards. It's free DLC for the award-winning sequel and launches on December 13th for PS4 and PS5. Valhalla sees Kratos and Mimir venturing into a new location to undertake a deeply personal and reflective journey. It features the combat of the base game with roguelite elements. After falling, players go back to the beginning. Kratos seemingly starts without any gear but can unlock armor and perhaps even weapons and new abilities to aid in his runs. Exodus. Developer Archetype Entertainment has unveiled its first title during the Game Awards 2023, Exodus. The trailer shows off the game's main story as well as some gameplay. Exodus seems to be a third-person action game as evidenced by the second half of the trailer. The game seems to feature a mix of both exploration as well as action and will have the character use traditional weapons along with what appear to be strange powers. Exodus is likely the game for which Archetype Entertainment announced a partnership with CG studio Blur Studios. Exodus is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. It doesn't yet have a release date. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2's brutal combat. Ninja Theory debuted a new trailer for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. The action-adventure follow-up to the 2017 classic at the Game Awards. It sees Senua undergoing various trials and tribulations, from combat, which showcases an option to dual-wield a hand axe, to stealth and exploration. The sequel is set in Viking Iceland as Senua embarks on a journey to save those who have witnessed tyranny. Given her violent past against the Northmen who caused the death of her loved ones, this is a natural journey for Senua. She's still struggling with psychosis as the voices in her head push and pull in various directions. Nevertheless, Senua surges forward, with Melina Juergens providing a fantastic performance. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is launching in 2024, and it will be available on Xbox Series and PC, while also launching on day one for Game Pass. Kimori. Unseen has announced Kimori, an action-adventure game that will take players to a realm where the unpredictable meets the extraordinary. Set in an urban, jungle-esque city, the game's world will be populated by yokai, whom players will hunt using their fox window. As per the announcement trailer's description, players will hunt yokai in style, collect their powers, and face even greater challenges. There's no word yet on when Kimori will launch or what platforms it'll be available for when it does. No Rest for the Wicked. Developer Moon Studios, known for its work on Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, has announced its new game, titled No Rest for the Wicked. The game was announced with a trailer during the Game Awards 2023. No Rest for the Wicked is an entirely new title completely separate from the Ori series. The trailer indicates that it takes place in a dark fantasy setting. The game takes place in the island setting of Isola Sacre, which players will get to explore. The trailer indicates that the island has a varied ecosystem and that players will be able to meet a wide range of characters and find treasures along the way. No Rest for the Wicked is slated for release on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Unfortunately, the game doesn't yet have a release date. Rather, the trailer indicates that more details will be revealed at something called Wicked Inside, with a March 1st date. The casting of Frank Stone. The casting of Frank Stone will take players to the town of Cedar Hills, which has a violent past that a group of young friends become embroiled in. Players will learn about the gruesome history of the Frank Stone himself, which has left scars across families, generations, and the very fabric of reality itself. As you'd expect from any supermassive developed game, the casting of Frank Stone will bring an increased focus on storytelling than you would expect from Dead by Daylight, while also putting choice and consequence mechanics front and center. Rise of the Ronin release date. Team Ninja's Rise of the Ronin appeared during the Game Awards and showcased new combat and story gameplay. It also has a release date, March 22nd, 2024, exclusively for the PlayStation 5. Pre-orders also go live on December 14th. Rise of the Ronin takes place in 19th century Japan during the Bakumatsu, with the Tokugawa shogunate falling and the country in chaos. Whether that means siding with the shogunate or various anti-shogunate factions remains to be seen. After all, you're a Ronin who makes their own choices, with long-reaching consequences. Who you decide to side with can affect the story's outcome. As an open-world action RPG, players can move around on horseback and glider while utilizing swords, spears, firearms, and much more. OD. Kojima Productions is busy with Death Stranding 2's development in collaboration with Sony, but it has other irons in the fire as well. Last year, it was announced that the studio was collaborating with Microsoft on an Xbox-exclusive game, and at the Game Awards, that game was formally unveiled. A horror game titled Overdose was previously leaked, and now it has been formally unveiled as OD. Built on Unreal Engine and using metahuman technology, OD is a horror experience that will use Microsoft's cloud technology. Kojima describes it as a game but also a movie, and as you would expect from the man, something that we haven't seen ever before. The game will star Sophia Lillis, Hunter Schafer, and Udo Kier. And it's been confirmed that Kojima and his team are making it in close collaboration with American actor and filmmaker Jordan Peele. Black Myth Wukong release date. Black Myth Wukong has been making massive waves ever since it was first announced, and with each of its new showings, the excitement surrounding it has only grown. At the Game Awards, we got another meaty look at the game, with developer Game Science showing off an explosive new trailer, in addition to showcasing more of Black Myth's aggressive and fast-paced combat, and a healthy dose of intimidating foes coming in all shapes and sizes. The trailer shows off various boss fights, what are looking like some impressively large-scale set-piece moments, and more, while also shedding more light on the game's story, which is inspired by Journey to the West. Meanwhile, Game Science has now also confirmed a specific release date for the title, which previously had a 2024 release window. Black Myth Wukong will launch for the PS5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam and Epic Games Store on August 20th. Marvel's Blade. As the leaks suggested, the next game by Arcane Studios was announced at the Game Awards, but though many had expected that it would be Dishonored 3, what the developer actually brought turned out to be a massive surprise. Marvel Games and Arcane Studios have announced Marvel's Blade. Developed by Arcane Lion, the team behind Dishonored 2 and Deathloop, Marvel's Blade will take players to the city of Paris, where you play as Marvel's iconic vampire/vampire hunter. Marvel's Blade will be a mature, single-player action-adventure game, and unlike what Arcane usually makes, it's going to be a third-person title. Marvel's Blade is in development for Xbox Series and PC. Den of Wolves. GTFO developer 10 Chambers has announced its next title, dubbed Den of Wolves. The studio's next game will also involve 4-player co-op, but rather than focusing on horror like GTFO, it'll instead be a heist game. Not too many details about Den of Wolves have been revealed, and even the game's official website only reveals that the game is set in a techno-thriller future, and that its co-op missions will involve corporate espionage, sabotage, and assassinations. Digging a bit deeper into the game's official website reveals a district index, which seems to be a listing of potential targets for players in the game. At the time of writing, only the administrative district in the game's setting of Midway City can be accessed. 10 Chambers is known for its work on co-op titles, with developers from the studio having previously worked on Payday, The Heist, and Payday 2, and more recently the co-op horror shooter GTFO. Going by other games by the studio, Den of Wolves will likely feature co-op as an intrinsic part of its design. Other games by the studio tend to include obstacles that can only be cleared by players taking on specific roles, and as such, its titles can't really be played solo. Light No Fire. No Man's Sky developer Hello Games has been dedicated to expanding and improving the space survival game ever since its launch nearly a decade ago. And while those updates will continue in the foreseeable future, the studio has other things it's been working on as well. At the Game Awards, Hello Games founder and boss Sean Murray took to the stage to unveil Light No Fire, the studio's next game, which he says is going to be just as massive and ambitious as No Man's Sky. Echoing previous similar statements, Light No Fire will be set on a planet the size of Earth, with the unique twists of being highly stylized and fantastical, populated by lush and gorgeous environments, all manner of creatures and monsters and more. The multiplayer title will use procedural generation, implement survival and building mechanics, and be played from a first-person perspective, so it certainly shares some of its DNA with No Man's Sky. There's no word on when Light No Fire will release or which platforms it's in development for. Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds is launching in 2025 for the Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. The trailer showcases some very interesting new mechanics. The mount appears similar to Monster Hunter Rise's Palamute, with players able to control it freely. The mount runs around, leaps from object to object in the environment, and even flies through the air. Combat wasn't showcased, but there are impressive and potentially hazardous weather effects, like lightning strikes. The environmental scale appears much larger than Monster Hunter World, but we'll have to wait and see if it's open world or region-based like previous titles. Also, for those who hate Rathalos, great news, he's coming back, as indicated by the tail end of the trailer.
That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.